So when you think about Google Pay for business, I want you to think about a very convenient service, not just for your business if you have an online store, but also for your brick and mortar company. Okay, so it doesn't matter the setup that you have for Google Biz. You can actually use a Google Pay for business all the time. So that's kind of important. So here's a prologue I want you to really pay attention to. So when it comes to Google Pay for business, you are speaking about accepting payments online, in person, and around the world, right? And you want to have a payment solution that's built for any business from scaling startups to global enterprises. So that's really good. And when you think about Google Pay, I want you to think about a digital wallet and online payment system that is powered by NFC technology, so near field communication technology. And Google actually launched Google Pay in 2018 after merging Android Pay with Google Wallet. And as a user, you can add credit, debit, loyalty, or gift cards to your Google Pay account and then pay with your smartphone, tablets, or watch. So that's kind of cool. And from flexibility, you will love that. And Google Pay actually has the third highest market share for mobile payment services in the US. It has an established customer base of around 150 to 175 million users worldwide. And this is a pretty let's say a pretty profitable sort of service for Google Pay, because for Google as a company, because last year it really generated around $125 billion in transactional value. Okay, and Google Pay has adapted to different market needs and has varied availability and features across regions depending on local regulations and partnerships with local financial institutions. So that's kind of cool, because the kind of setup you have with Google Pay in the States is a little bit different if you were, say, in Asia or Africa or Latin America, or even Europe for that matter. Google Pay's security features include tokenizations, which the tokenization actually creates a unique encrypted number for each transaction and safeguards card details. And also you have advanced user authentication methods requiring a PIN, a pattern, a password, or biometric verification such as fingerprint scanning. Okay, and so this is kind of important to think about it that way. So when you think about Google Pay for business, I want you to pay for user friendliness. I want you to think about efficiency, and I want you to really think about a service that's very easy to use. Okay, and so how Google Pay works is that it's pretty straightforward. So if you have a business that wants to process payments with Google Pay, you have a range of options to set up the service. You can choose from a variety of supported payment gateways and merchant services providers to find the best fit for your needs. And if you have a business that uses Stripe for online payments, for example, you can easily add Google Pay as an option without additional setup or fees. And integrating Google Pay gives you access to transaction data that allows you to track stock levels and automatically updates product availability. So that's kind of cool from an inventory management point of view. You will love that. And you are also able to reward customers for using Google Pay through integration with loyalty programs that offer points or discounts, encouraging repeat businesses, okay, across the board. And Google Pay works for both online and in-store transactions and integrates with a range of systems and platforms for protected and convenient payment processing. So that's kind of cool. Now, I think I've said this before, but I want you to insist on that. When you think about Google Pay for business, I want you to think about efficiency, but I also want you to think about scalability. So in-store, but also online transaction. And you have a integration to POS systems, and you also have integration to online platforms. So in terms of POS systems, Google Pay integrates with a variety of POS systems, okay? And so if you have a custom POS systems, you can directly integrate Google Pay using application programming interfaces APIs. And so basically you are able to design a custom checkout experience that matches your brand and optimizes conversion rates, okay? And so if you have a business and you need or you seek an easier, less customized setup process, you can take advantage of the many other POS systems that actually are there in the market, okay? But you also have online platforms. So Google Pay will integrate with online e-commerce, like major e-commerce platforms such as Shopify, Magento, BigCommerce, WooCommerce. So that's kind of important. And so you are able to have your customers complete the checkout process quickly and safely. And if you have a business with, let's say, subscription services, you can also integrate Google Pay to facilitate recurring payments and simplify customer billing. Okay, and so developers can use the Google Pay API to integrate Google Pay directly into their own apps, as well as having an easy in-app payment experience. So that's kind of cool in terms of offering convenience to customers. So if you want to use Google Pay to process in-person, offline transactions, you have options such as TAS mode, QR code payments, and also NFC payments. So if you are thinking about Google Pay for a business, I want you to think about a certain geography because Google Pay is available globally, but the platform has different setups for different regions. Okay, and so Google Pay has expanded its operational footprint, if you will, to over 60 countries and territories, and its market penetration in each of those regions will vary depending on a couple of things like customer behaviors, business conditions, and regulatory environments. And Google Pay's usage and key influences in the Asia Pacific region, Europe, North America, Latin America, and Africa are really are pretty great to see. Let me just outline those for you. So in Asia Pacific, Google Pay is available in India, China, and also Southeast Asia. Okay, so in India, for instance, it has about 60 to 70 million users. Okay, so India is really Google Pay's largest single market in Asia Pacific. What about Europe? Well, Google Pay is really popular across Europe, though it really competes with services such as Apple Pay and Samsung Pay. And Google Pay actually differentiates itself with features such as peer-to-peer payments and loyalty programs, and also forms partnerships with local banks and mobile operators. So this is important. So Google Pay is available also in the UK. And in the States, in North America, Google Pay is, of course, present in the States, but also in Canada. In the States, for instance, it has about 25 to 30 million people as a user base. In Canada, you have Google Pay that actually ranks third for mobile payments in Canada due to collaborating closely with Canadian banks and online retailers. So you have a lot of possibility for Google Pay in Canada. So that's really good to think about it that way. In Latin America, Google Pay is available in Brazil and Mexico, among other things, and among other countries. And in Africa, you have Google Pay being available in Kenya, in Nigeria, in South Africa, for instance. So that really opens up an extra layer of convenience. In Kenya, for instance, Google Pay has focused on reaching the unbanked population by collaborating with mobile network operators to provide mobile money services, promoting financial inclusion and carving out a local user base. So this is really good to think about that way. So when you think about Google Pay, what kind of audience should you be thinking about? In other words, who or why should you use Google Pay at all, or who uses Google Pay? Well, it really depends. Google Pay has actually carved out a really good niche for all kinds of usage, all kinds of use cases. So you might want to use Google Pay if you are a retail shopper, if you are an e-commerce shopper, if you are a food service business, if you are a public transport system, if you are a service provider, if you are a younger user, if you have a small business or a startup, if you are an event organizer, and if you also have subscription-based services. Let me really go a little deeper here. So if you are a retail shopper, Google Pay is a popular option among retail shoppers. Okay, you have 35 to 40 people reporting using at least one mobile payment app for in-store purchases, while with 10% of those customers reporting using Google Pay most often. If you're an e-commerce shopper, also you will love Google Pay. And the restaurant industry, the food service sector is experiencing a great love, a renewed love, if you will, for Google Pay. Okay, and so you have a quick service restaurants in particular frequently accepting options such as Google Pay, and so this is kind of cool. You also have public transport systems increasingly integrating Google Pay as a payment option, with more than 500 cities around the world now supporting it. You have service providers, so freelancers also use a digital payment platform such as Google Pay for their simplicity and security. So that's kind of cool, and this adds an extra layer of convenience to the whole thing. And so if you are an event organizer, you will love Google Pay because the event industry is also embracing Google Pay, with attendees using it for ticket purchases or on-site transactions. And subscription services are also turning to Google Pay for its secure recurring payment capabilities. So that's really good from a flexibility point of view. So when you think about Google Pay for business, I want you to think about a certain level of, let's say, benefits. Okay, you have a lot of benefits of accepting Google Pay. So for businesses, accepting Google Pay as a payment method provides potential advantages, right? I'm talking here about audience growth to better analytics and greater efficiency. You can really have a clear idea about your revenue management, your revenue trends. You have more granularity into your analytics, so that's really good. And so, in terms of Google Pay for business, you have benefits such as faster checkout times. That's really good. Faster checkout times. You have a simplified transaction management. You have reduced fraud risks. You have improved customer satisfaction. That's really good to have this sort of customer satisfaction. Okay. You have expansion into new markets. You have access to customer data. You have increased sales, lower cash management costs, enhanced brand image, and you have future-proofed business model. Okay. So when I speak about faster checkout times, you are able to have 20 to 30% more like a faster checkout times. Okay, so that really ties a lot into your revenue. If your people are checking out faster from your store, that's really great because they will be able to come back if they want to. One thing I want to say is that you have simplified transaction management. So the Google Pay for Business app streamlines transaction management, saving your business time on things like administrative tasks. You have reduced fraud risks. So Google Pay's tokenization technology boasts a success rate of over 90% in preventing fraudulent transactions. And you also have the improved customer satisfaction because Google Pay has this sort of feature. You have also access to customer data. So customer spending data from Google Pay helps your business improve product offerings and craft targeted marketing campaigns that can achieve a higher return on investment compared to, let's say, traditional methods. So that's really good. And this translates into increased sales, by the way. You can have 20x or 25x increase in conversions depending on the kind of industry you're in, okay? And so from a revenue management point of view, this is really great. Of course, you also have a lower cash management cost. So if you are able to accept Google Pay, you can cut out costs associated with cash counting, transportation, and security. You also have enhanced brand images. So enhanced brand image rather. So as a brand, you can improve your reputation as innovative and modern by supporting mobile payments options such as Google Pay. So that's really good. So when you think about Google Pay, I want you to Google Pay for business. Let me talk to you some of the extras here. So when you think about security measures, you have tokenization. You have of course, two-factor authentication. So that helps you a lot, sort of stabilize your business. And you also have a near field communication. Okay, and you have others such as secure elements, Google account security, data encryption, privacy controls, regulatory compliance, fraud detection and prevention, dedicated security team, chargeback protection. You have virtual account numbers. You have remote phone lock-in. And so you can see that Google has a constellation of ways to actually ensure your security. Okay, let me walk you through a few of them. So Of course, tokenization, as I've spoken about that. You have two-factor authentication. So to access Google Pay or make a payment, you must authenticate your identity. And Google Pay supports various two-factor authentication methods, including PINs, passwords, patterns, fingerprints, and facial recognition, allowing you as a user to choose your preferred level of security. And some Google Pay implementations also use dynamic PINs that actually change over time, adding an extra layer of protection against brute force attacks and further ensuring that only the authorized user, aka you in this case, can make payments or access sensitive information. Okay. And let me talk to you quickly about privacy controls. So Google Pay actually gives you as a customer granular access over data, what kind of data you share and how it is used, allowing you to choose to share specific information with businesses or limit data sharing altogether. So customers, actually your customers, can access and download their transaction history at any time and can opt in or opt out to use this data to personalize their experience within the app. And Google does not share customer transaction history with third parties for marketing purposes, okay, without explicit consent. So there has to be consent from the user for Google Pay to actually go that extra level, okay. So Google Pay actually does a lot of work in terms of making sure that your data and your customers' data are safe. Let me talk to you about the rivalry here. So there are some alternatives to Google Pay. Okay, while Google Pay is a dominant force in the mobile payment environment, several competitors do have similar functionalities and challenge Google Pay's market share. So the most popular alternatives to Google Pay are actually outlined as follows. You have Apple Pay, you have Samsung Pay, you have PayPal, you have Venmo, you have Cash App. So when you think about Apple Pay, you have a player that's really, really great mobile payment service. Apple Pay integrates with iOS, macOS, and watchOS devices, and it really leverages Apple's well-established ecosystem and user base. And Apple Pay dominates the US market with a digital wallet market share of over 90% last year. And the established Apple brand name and loyal customer base contribute to its widespread acceptance and usage. And Apple Pay uses advanced security measures such as Touch ID and Face ID, and this further promotes really user trust. Okay. However, Apple Pay's weaknesses include a relatively restricted reach compared to Google Pay's broader platform support, since it is exclusively available on Apple devices. Okay, and also this service may also charge higher interest fees for businesses than Google Pay in certain situations. So you also have Samsung Pay, so mobile payment and digital wallet service. Samsung Pay is actually compatible with Android devices and various wearable devices from Samsung and other brands. Samsung Pay is a major player in South Korea and other Asian markets where it has seen strong adoption. It really boosts compatibility with more payment terminals than other digital wallets, and it can really connect with non-NFC terminals through magnetic secure transmission technology, MST technology. Okay, of course you have PayPal. I don't have to introduce PayPal to you. So PayPal has been a dominant force in this sector for a while. You also have Venmo. So Venmo is a mobile app focused on peer-to-peer payments and social features. It supports free money transfers between individual users and integrates with social media platforms such as Facebook, making it a very popular choice for personal finance management, like sharing expenses or splitting bills with friends or family. Okay, so this is kind of cool in terms of flexibility. That's really good. You have Cash App. So Cash App is a mobile app offering a free money transfers, and Bitcoin integration and investment features are really great. Also, when it comes to Cash App. So, in conclusion, in today's conversation, I'll just explain to you everything about Google Pay for Business. So, I give you the prologue, the details, the geography, the audience, the extras, the rivalry, and now the conclusion. Thank you so much. God bless you. I'll see you next time. Until then, remember, stay Marvelous.